All right, another very gloomy look over downtown Mobile as light rain continues to fall from our Roof Doctor's camera. That will, of course, pick up tonight as Francine moves inland. In fact, some stronger storms and a chance of severe weather continues tonight as well. There's a view from Atmore at the Wind Creek. Temps in the 70s. Again, rain picking up tonight inland as well. And those red flags are flying, double red in some locations. You need to stay out of the water tonight and into tomorrow as well. We're going to talk a lot more about the impacts from now Category 2 Francine, and we're going to break down some important times you need to know as the 4 on 5 continues now.
Local coverage you can count on. You're watching WKRG News, the 4 on 5.
I'm Cherish Lombard. Thank you so much for making the 4 on 5 part of your day. As of the latest update just before 4 o'clock, Francine is now a Category 2 hurricane inching closer to the coast of Louisiana, expected to make landfall in the next half hour. Louisiana and Mississippi are under a state of emergency. Areas just east of a hurricane see greater impacts than those to the west due to the storm's rotation. This time, that's Mississippi. We have reporters in Bay St. Louis and Biloxi. This video shows conditions in Biloxi earlier today. WKRG News 5's Haley Kennedy is there now. Looking a bit different, Haley.
Yeah, Cherish, it's getting pretty wet out here. I mean, as you can see, I'm soaking wet. So if you're curious if it's raining outside, it definitely is. You can tell from me on your TV screens right now. It is very wet in Biloxi. Now, the wind is starting to pick up every once in a while. We do get a huge gust of wind, kind of knocks off my hat sometimes, but it's still pretty hit and miss with the wind. The surf, the waves still seems pretty smooth, not too bad at this time. Now over on Beach Boulevard, I was peeking over there in between my last hit, and that road is starting to flood. We'll show you some of that flooding in just a little bit. I'm going to toss it over to Asher Red. He's joining us from Bay St. Louis. Asher, how's it looking over there?
Yeah, Haley, I'm just down the road from you here in Bay St. Louis, and it is getting windier. I know last time, about 30 minutes ago, I said it was windy and it was raining on and off, and it's still raining on and off, but when it rains, it's going sideways, right? So here, at least, we are starting to see some white caps in the Gulf coming in, and surf is getting rougher as we speak. I mentioned last time that we are seeing people coming in and out of this state pier that we are at, and we've started to see less of that. We have some occasional people parking, asking us the severity of this, and I'm asking them, when are you going home? Why are you out right now? And they always say, oh, well, I'll go home when it starts to get sketchy. But one of the important things to know is this is a hurricane. It is better safe than sorry. The saying always is, turn around, don't drown. So with that being said, live in Bay St. Louis, I'm Asher Red, WKRG News 5.
Thanks, Asher. Conditions are predicted to go downhill tonight. Ed, already a lot of closures being announced because people know that's how it always goes. I know you spoke with Baldwin EMA Director Tom Tyler yesterday, and realizing that this is the first real significant tropical threat that even we have had since 2020. Right. It's been quite some time. Yeah, it has. A lot of folks just need to take it seriously. Now, this will not be the strongest storm we've ever seen, but still, you again need to make sure you focus in on those threats. Speaking of, here's a look at the center of what is Category 2 Hurricane Francine. Now almost looks like it's getting ready to make landfall. And so the landfall point, we determine that where the center of this kind of big eye is. So that would be right about here. When that gets on shore, which should happen now in about a half an hour, that will be the landfall point. So likely to make landfall in the marshes there, south and west of Houma, Louisiana. So the storm will weaken quickly as it moves north and eventually will slow down, but the center could pass very close to Jackson, Mississippi as we move you into tomorrow afternoon. Locally, it's light rain now. I am tracking some strong thunderstorms sitting, though, just off the coast of Dauphin Island. A little storm there has shown some signs of rotation, maybe some waterspout activity. Here are some times you need to pay attention to. So 7 p.m. till 1 p.m. So this evening through 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, that is when we enter the window where we are going to see some tropical storm force winds. It's now likely that we'll get gusts to around 50 miles per hour in Mississippi, but even in northwest Florida now, we're expecting gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour. Now, tornadoes.
That tornado threat will ramp up after landfall. So a few tornadoes with some of those outermost rain bands. That threat continues through about 8 or 9 o'clock Thursday morning. The storm surge threat and coastal flooding midnight to 9 a.m. during those high tide cycles. That high tide in Mobile Bay coming right around sunrise, and flooding again. 2 to 4 inches of rain, up to 5 inches in some locations. Now, most of the rain should get out of here again by about 8, 9 o'clock. But bottom line, a wet night, all the things that come with a landfalling tropical system, we will see them in some respects all the way through tomorrow. And those seas are going to remain very, very rough all day tomorrow. But eventually we'll get back to some sunshine and things should quiet down nicely for the end of the week. We'll talk a bit more about that in just a few minutes.
This Category 2 storm is showing itself on Dauphin Island. Mayor Jeff Collier sent this message to residents last night, asking everyone to prepare to secure boats and outdoor furniture. And also, he urged everyone on the west end to move to higher ground. WKRG News 5's Jeremy Jones is joining us from the west end. Jeremy, since you've been out there, do you feel like wind is picking up? Have you seen any changes?
Yes, definitely, Cheris. When we last spoke around 4, it's now a half hour later, and I can honestly say that the wind has picked up, and so has the waves. I mean, they're still crashing and they're still beating up here on the shoreline. Now, people here at Dauphin Island, there are some people out here who are enjoying this weather, standing here on the west end beach here. As you can see, there are some people just walking around, just acknowledging and admiring the waves. So we still are seeing lighter drizzle, but more intense winds, more intense waves. And so I'm going to go ahead and toss over to another beach in Gulf Shores to our Debbie Williams.
Thanks, Jeremy. So we're here in Gulf Shores. This is exactly, we were talking about, Ed and Cheris were talking about how we haven't really had a storm since Sally 4 years ago now. Well, this is where we were for Sally 4 years ago. It's a much different scene right now. If you take a look out at the Gulf of Mexico, it is churned up. The waves are crashing about 3 to 6 feet. There is double red flags flying along all of the Alabama beaches. The wind, not so much an issue right here. We do have a steady rain. It's light rain. We are looking at the radar too, though, and it's coming. And that's one of the big concerns is the flooding, the coastal flooding, and when that high tide comes in tomorrow morning. We were out earlier today. The seas weren't as rough, and we ran into two brothers who were actually going for a beach day and had no idea that there was a hurricane in the Gulf.
We had no idea that there was a hurricane coming or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, I see the shock.
I mean, like 2 red flags, we were just kind of like, it might be closed today, but other than that, not really any sign for a hurricane.
The signs are there now. There are some heavier waves, a little bit of wind. We have the tornado watch that is in effect and expected to go inland. All of these things associated with Hurricane Francine, who may be, hundreds of thousands of miles away or hundreds of miles away, but we're still going to see those impacts here along coastal Alabama. So you need to be prepared and keep an eye on that weather. Stay weather aware. We always preach it. This is a good time to take that to heart. Live in Gulf Shores, Debbie Williams, WKRG News 5.
Absolutely, Debbie. And our first alert storm team is tracking Hurricane Francine around the clock. And when you can't see them here on WKRG, you'll be able to get their updates on your phone when you download the free WKRG weather app.